Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. I'm Megan.
And I'm Ciera, and for today's video, Megan and I thought it'd be fun to do a good old-fashioned Q&A.
It's like one of our quarterly Q&As.
Yeah, I feel like we do one like every 3 months or so. Just gotta keep you guys in the loop. And it's also the end of the year, so I feel like we were due for just a quick end of 2024 wrap-up.
So usually we'll take turns asking questions or asking for you guys to send us questions in on either of our Instagrams. So I posted yesterday asking you guys for some questions. And so we will go ahead and pick some out and answer them. Okay, this first question is favorite video you've made or style of video that we've made. This is an interesting question because we've definitely gone in different...
automatically goes to like TC2 stuff.
I know. I feel like there's obviously different eras of our lives on YouTube and also just like the videos we've made. And so I really feel like I most appreciate and look back fondly probably on our videos we did kind of like in our prime TC2 era, mostly just because like the level of editing that we were doing
like,
and the time we were spending on videos was a lot more than it is now. And like we really tried hard to like spend a lot of time on that stuff, and so like that's where I'm like, obviously we wouldn't make videos like that now, but it's just like I appreciate that. And
we have to give some honorable mentions. I feel like videos that I go back and watch are like Cheer Expectation versus Reality. It's a classic. The like high school you versus teen you cheerleading one. Newer-ish, like I feel like when we were, this might have been like 2020 or a little bit later, but that like Navy fitness test or whatever we did, I feel like we did a really good job with like the filming and the editing of that one.
If I were to speak more to now, I really most often like to look back and watch like travel videos that we're doing. So anytime that we're like traveling somewhere and we have vlogs of that, those are fun to edit and then also fun to look back on.
I want to ask, how did you know PT was a career that you wanted to pursue? Weirdly enough, I actually just had a patient like ask me about that today. I mean, my story is not very fun or interesting. Like, I never had physical therapy myself, so I was never exposed to it that way. I think my first exposure, obviously I knew what PT was, but like watching Grey's Anatomy, I distinctly remember like after, spoiler if you haven't seen Grey's Anatomy, skip ahead, there's a plane crash and one of the doctors requires like extensive physical therapy because they have an amputation. And I feel like that was like the first exposure to like physical therapy outside of like regular sports, like orthopedic therapy that I thought of. And so like that kind of piqued my interest a little bit, and then from there, I pretty like extensively job shadowed in high school, and then like through undergrad I basically just like decided that was what I was going to do. And I just never really like changed my mind. I was always interested. I always felt like there was like a path that I could see myself in with physical therapy. So
I would say, so I did go through physical therapy myself a few times for like not anything super serious, but just gymnastics related injuries. And I remember thinking to myself that I was like, these people, like, this is their job, and like they're not sitting at an office desk all day doing things. Like, we're in a gym right now and like they're helping me try to get better. So that was kind of the first time that I feel like I was interested in physical therapy. And then like Ciera said, we had the opportunity to do pretty extensive job shadowing in high school. And we already were getting exposed to a few different areas of PT. And then like the more you get into it, obviously like when you're going into anything, you don't really know the full scope of what you're getting yourself into. Even in PT school, like you don't really know what you're getting yourself into until you've already like made that decision and you're in it. I don't have any regrets. I feel like there's a lot of flexibility with the field of physical therapy and luckily like healthcare in general. So that's kind of how we both got into it and stuck with it, and that's how we are. That's how we are where we are. Okay. Since this is probably the biggest life change that we've had since our last Q&A video, and we've got a couple different questions that we're probably gonna like rapid fire through, this is gonna be the dating section. Because if you have not listened to Ciera and I on our podcast and or been keeping up with my TikTok, we are actually...
Or YouTube. Like we said on YouTube.
Yeah. This is here now.
This is this platform.
Ciera and I are both currently in relationships, so you guys have questions about that. So we'll do rapid fire, and then we'll go on to the next topic. Okay, someone said, are you guys going to eventually film with them? That would be way down the line. And also I feel like Brooke Michio has a way that she has her relationship online that I kind of like, where it's more so like you know her boyfriend's face and name, but then like not really a whole lot else.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of go back and forth. I feel like TikTok content would be like, I'd be more likely to do just like casual, quick stuff on there and just like trends. But like as of right now, that's kind of what I'm envisioning.
Yeah. That's kind of where I'm like leaning as well. Like I don't feel
Like
the
we're
need
probably
to
not
like
gonna
shove a
sit down
camera
and do
in
the
his-
boyfriend tag.
Yeah. I don't feel like either of us feels the need to like shove a camera in their face. Like when we're hanging out with them or like going on dates with our respective boyfriends, like I don't feel like I need to film anything. Someone said, how's life now with a boyfriend compared to when we were single? I mean, I feel like now it's just like you make time to spend with them throughout the week. I will like make note of like there have been times, mostly in the podcast, where I've been like talking about the struggles of dating, being like I have to go like leave my house or like make time for them. That sounds annoying. And then I will say like when you find someone you actually want to spend time with, it's actually like, oh, I'm like looking forward to it. So don't worry about that if you're single and you're like, how is this going to work? It will work when it's supposed to work. Yeah, I feel like, I don't know about you and your boyfriend, but like me and my boyfriend have like days that tend to like work out scheduling wise for when we can see each other. And so we'll see each other like maybe once or twice during the week and then like mostly during the weekend.
Yeah. Mine's kind of similar. It hasn't been that different. It's mostly just like if
Yeah.
instead of
Like we
hanging out
like to
with
do
each other-
activities, you know, anyways, and like they just tag along if they can.
Yeah.
Or if they want to.
Okay, this is kind of a fun question. This one said, favorite date you've both went on with your boyfriends so far?
I'm gonna say, like, my boyfriend and I just got back from a weekend trip that we did. If you want a whole recap, we just did a podcast episode where Megan and I recapped our separate weekends. Like, that was a fun, it wasn't really a date, it was like a weekend away. But I would say our third date was, like, the date where I was kind of like, okay, maybe I see this going somewhere. He moved out of
I'm
the
gonna
street.
piggyback off of that in terms of like my third date. I feel like was also kind of a turning point, if
Okay.
you will.
So,
Where it was like I feel like at that point that was like our first extensive date.
Mhm.
I don't know about yours, but that was like okay. We did like just a lot more talking, and it was kind of like okay, I like you enough to want to hang out with you for a prolonged period of time. So I don't know if maybe that would be my favorite date, and or. I really liked when we did trivia with like, it was me, him, and Megan and Ciera got to meet him for the first time. Not only did we win trivia, but like I do care quite a bit about like what my families, especially my sisters, think of whoever I would be dating. And so it was reassuring that you guys liked him.
So, thoughts?
So,
My third date with my boyfriend, he set up so like we went to a bookstore and like we each picked out a book for each other to read. And he's not really like much of a reader. He's like reading more now. He's like only reading the books that I'm telling him to read. So I'm like, okay. He read Project Hail Mary, and then he's now reading 11/22/63.
my boyfriend's currently reading Project Hail Mary.
So that was like the first part of the day was picking out books, and then we like went and had like a little picnic that we set up, and he like brought snacks and stuff that we were reading, and then we were just chatting. And that was also right after Megan and I's birthday, and he brought both of us flowers for our birthday, which I thought was sweet.
Okay, someone asked where did we meet our boyfriends. I made a whole TikTok series about it, you guys. So if you really want like date 1 through 5 like details, you can go to my TikTok. It's just Megan Stitz 1. I met my boyfriend actually at a bar, just downtown Des Moines.
Shocking.
So surprisingly,
Cut all the clips of Megan saying we're gonna meet him at a bar.
right?
I
I know.
So.
I'm like, you could go back and find 10 different clips of me saying like I don't think that's gonna happen.
I met my boyfriend on Hinge. Done with all of the like our relationship specific questions. Someone did ask like a general, what's your best advice for someone who feels like they will never have a relationship? And not that we're gonna be self-proclaimed like romance relationship experts after entering into one relationship, but since we're just like on the other side of this, me for like literally my whole life, you
Me first, actually.
basically.
Essentially.
I feel like we can, you know, give some answers. My thought would be, like, as annoying as it is, like, A, your relationship status does not define, it's, like, the least interesting thing about you. So, don't say it, like, don't think you need to be in a relationship to be fulfilled, to be happy, to live a good life, because you don't. I would just say, as long as you are putting yourself out there, whether or not that means trying dating apps, whether it means trying to, like, find public spaces that you feel like you can meet like-minded people, like, that's really all you can do.
And then, like, you just have to hope that
And then
paths
it's
cross
luck.
with someone that likes you and that you like back. I feel like also I had people on my TikTok asking specifically about, like, since Ciera and I both have avoidant attachment styles, someone was asking about, like, do you feel like you changed something in yourself to be more open to these new relationships, or do you feel like whoever you're dating now has, like, done certain things to, like, make you more open to entering into a relationship? I don't know that I have a fully formed answer now, but I do feel like with just my past experiences on dating apps and the few limited, you know, first couple dates that I've gone in the past, I feel like what was different this time was, like, the intention behind, like, I didn't have to question, like, how much does this person like me? Because it was very obvious, and then obviously I know that I like this person back, and so it was less confusing in that sense. Obviously I still have my own personal checklist, like anyone's gonna have when they're dating someone, in terms of, like, just things that you want to, like, have in someone you're interested in. So those are still there, but, like, the intention was really kind of like the difference maker, if that makes sense. Just, yeah, I don't know. A more fleshed answer could be coming later, but
I don't know. But, like, since going back to, like, the question of, like, never feeling like you will enter into a relationship, like, unfortunately that's going to be true until it's not. You know what I mean? Like, and there's no time frame, there's no timeline of when that will change. You just have to, like, put your best foot forward, and if it happens, it'll happen.
Okay, I'm gonna answer a question about myself, or directed at myself. Someone was asking how I'm liking my new job, and I'm really enjoying my new job, you guys. I am basically in the same setting, but there's a couple reasons that I am enjoying my job now more than my previous job, and all left to my previous job. But, so my previous job and my current job are primarily in skilled nursing, not so much long-term care anymore, actually. I have no long-term care patients currently on my caseload.
It's crazy.
But I'm at one building. I was not at one building at my previous job. I was traveling between different buildings. The location's more convenient. I'm getting paid more. The facility and just environment itself, and, like, the gym that I have access to, is a lot nicer, and that, just for me, makes me feel like I can do a lot more with my treatment sessions, which is really nice. The rooms that these people have are much larger. The bathrooms are much larger, which, like, if you have ever been or worked in a facility where the bathroom is so tiny.
When I'm, like, moving stuff around, I'm like, I feel like I'm playing Tetris in here.
Right? And so that's just, like, a small thing, but makes a big difference. Those have all been good. I also have an outpatient population I'm seeing now, so that's, like, anyone from independent living or assisted living who wants to get, like, a PT referral, whether it be, like, you know, someone could have Parkinson's, it could be an ortho problem, whatever. And I'm still working on, like, growing that caseload a little bit, but that's kind of kept me on my toes a little bit in terms of looking back through my musculoskeletal notes, which I think has been good. It's just gonna make me a better PT in the long run. So that's been good. I have been working fuller and longer days compared to my last job, but I'm feeling so much more, like, full at the end of the day and, like, less worn out. So that's also good.
Someone asked, where do you hope to travel to next year? We don't have anything officially set in stone, but potentially going to Europe in, like, when is that?
Like August time frame?
Oh, just kidding.
It's for the Iowa State football game, even though we are Iowa fans, as you can see by Ciera's shirt, because our mom and her side of the family are Iowa State fans, and I'm not one to turn down a trip to Europe. I mean, we're contributing to paying for it, but, like, I would happily go.
So tentatively that, nothing's been booked yet, but it's been in the works.
It would be Dublin for sure, because that's where the game is at, and then probably one other country that, like,
I was kind of still thinking, like, UK vibes, honestly, but
okay,
we'll see.
If you're okay with the ticket price, then, you know, okay.
Otherwise, I know we might have a bachelorette trip. That wouldn't be, like, anything crazy.
I know, I think it'd be, like, just, if
like,
not local to here, a nearby,
like,
large city
or something. Our friend just sent, like, a group thing out for, like, going to Guatemala.
Yeah, I want to go somewhere tropical, probably first quarter of the year. So we've looked at kind of, like, Costa Rica would maybe be fun to go to, oh my gosh, or I don't know, maybe this random trip that we could go on with some friends, but we shall see where the year takes us. Okay, someone asked, biggest challenges and pleasures of being a homeowner. I feel like, I mean, I can't imagine going back to an apartment at this point in my life. I love having just more square footage, more space. I really like having a garage and a yard, and I feel like the homeowner tasks related to yard stuff, while I don't love like it's not
They're
the worst thing.
manageable.
And
Yeah.
like we have the two of us that like we can kind of divvy things up and it works out okay. There's obviously like anytime there's an unexpected expense, that's when you're like, I
oh
wish I was
God.
renting.
Yeah.
So for us so far, we've had to get a new water heater. That's like $1,000 or a couple $1,000s. That's been like the only major thing. I've had like my bathroom floor, it was like leaking at one point. So it could have been a really nasty fix, but it ended up being something that like we got under control pretty good.
I would say biggest pleasures would be like the square footage, like you said, getting to like really customize everything to make it exactly what you want. Our basement comes to mind as like the project that was like from start to finish, like we did that, you know,
with the help of our dad.
well, yeah,
But we planned it all. And
we came up with the vision and then he helped execute. We financed it. Someone asked, given the opportunity, would you pursue social media full-time and leave PT? I think A, I don't think that would ever happen, but B, I think I'd always stay on at the very least like part-time or PRN as a physical therapist, because
here's the thing, social media does not require a full-time or full-time hours.
No.
For most people that are doing social media, like you're
For
not
us lifestyle girlies,
working 40 hours a week. You have a lot of downtime
I
and dead
also
time
think that it would make our content like more
Still,
interesting.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
to have like, oh, by the way, now I'm going to go do the PT thing. The
Yeah.
PT thing.
Just the PT thing I do on the side.
What I see as being more feasible would not be because of social media, it'd be because of like getting married and having a family down the line, and that would just be like dropping down to, let's say, 30 hours a week or part-time. If you work 30 hours though, you still get full-time benefits, which is good. And so you'd have like 5-6 hour days a week.
I tell myself
6
if
hours
I
is
could,
nothing.
no, literally, if I could do 6 hours every day, easy. Life is a breeze.
And so you'd have time to like drop your kids off and get things situated in the morning. If you're done at a good time, you can go pick them up, make sure like if there's after school stuff going on, you know, like that'd be something where it's like, I will do that. If whoever I'm with wants to do the 8-hour workday and I do the 6-hour workday, I will get the kids. So that's probably like the more realistic thing.
Yeah.
Otherwise, like Ciera said, I do feel like I would always probably be PRN somewhere. But even that is like, I mean, part-time is not that much time commitment. So that's kind of my thoughts on that.
Even like beyond that, Megan had that whole week between jobs where she wasn't working. And like, granted, if this was our full-time job, I'm sure we would be doing more. But like, what would we be doing? What would we be filming?
Yeah, what are we recording? Like, our content now is kind of centered around the fact that like we have a job, and so
like
that
I would
become
you
very
know,
boring.
unless I
very
become a
quickly.
full-time booktuber. If you guys want to fund that lifestyle for me, I'd have nothing else to film.
Okay, someone asked, will we ever get another dog? I feel like, I know Ciera's probably.
I am not getting another dog anytime soon.
And Ciera's boyfriend also has a dog, so they're already two of them.
Yeah, 2 dogs
Because they come run amok in my home. I would not ever get another dog while we're living together, just because, again, like, I feel like 2 dogs is kind of a lot, and like, love Vegas, he's amazing. I don't want another dog to have to worry about, and then also be like, you know, right now I don't pay for anything Vegas does or his vet stuff, so I have the perks of, you know, loving and caring for a dog without the expenses. So I'm good just hanging out until later on in life. I think we'll end the Q&A with that question.
Hope you guys enjoyed. Hopefully we gave you enough information that you guys wanted. I feel like we did a good job answering everything people ask. Thanks for a good 2024. We still have more videos to come this year. But
let us know what other kinds of videos that you guys want us to record for this channel. And
anything new in the new year.
And otherwise, we will see you guys in our next video.
Bye.
Bye.